When used as a noun, the word arithmetic is pronounced just like that, arithmetic. But when it's used to describe something else, as in an adjective, it's pronounced arithmetic. So this term is arithmetic sequences. So the human brain recognizes most sequences, whether they're pictures, colors, or even numbers. If I give you simple sequences like 2, 4, 6, 8, you know what the next few numbers are. You'd say 10, 12, 14, and so forth. But it's at 5, 10, 15. You'd know what the next numbers are. Your brain recognizes those pretty quickly. So that's what an arithmetic sequence is. It's just a number that has the same distance between them. Okay. Here you notice I'm going up by 5 each time. On the top I'm going up by 2 each time. And that's all an arithmetic sequence is. It has a common difference between all of its terms. So even if I picked 1, 3, 5, so even though these are different numbers than up here, there's still a common difference of 2. You'd know the next number is 7, 9, 11, and so forth. Okay, now let's look at this simple sequence again. 5, 10, 15, 20, and so forth, all the way up to n, which is, we don't know what it is, but it can be any number, but it follows that sequence. Now what we do when we label these, we put a subscript. That's this little number down and to the right of the larger variable or number. In this case, it's an A. And that's just by convention. That's the letter we use. Sometimes you'll see it as a capital A. But it doesn't matter. Either one is fine. And the subscript, that's the little number down here, all that tells is what term in the sequence it is. So that 1 means that 5 is the first term. The 2 means that 10 is the second term. The A3, A sub 4. So that's normally how you would say this. A sub 1, or A with the subscript of 1. You can probably get away with A1 if you want, but to say it properly would be A sub 1. It's probably the best way to say it. And we get all the way to the unknown number out here, A sub n, because n is the unknown number, so what position is that? That's A sub n. That's all that is saying. Now keep in mind, that one went up by 5, but I could start anywhere. I could start out with 13. It goes up by 5. It would be 18. It goes up by 5, 23, 28, and so forth. And this is still A sub 1, A sub 2, A sub 3. Now you notice that common difference is still 5, but A sub 1, which is always one of the most important terms in any sequence, is what is A sub 1? What is that first term? Because that kind of sets the pace for the entire sequence. The common difference in most textbooks will be called a D. So in this case, D is 5, because the common difference here, 13 to 18 is 5, 18 to 23 is 5, and so forth. So if it doesn't have a common difference, it is not an arithmetic sequence. There are other sequences, one other we will learn about later on, but there are other types of sequences. But for it to be an arithmetic sequence, it has to have the same common difference. That's why it's called a common difference between each of its terms. Keep in mind, the common difference can be negative. And in this case, our A sub 1 is 10. Now you notice it's going down each time. The a sub 2 is 5, a sub 3 is 0, all the way out to a sub n. So what's the common difference in this case? Well, because we're subtracting 5 each time, the common difference is negative 5. So 10, negative 5 is 5, subtract 5 is 0, subtract 5, negative 5, subtract 5 more, negative 10, and so forth. Okay, so a sub 1 is still an important term, and the common difference can be positive or negative. It can also be fractions and also be decimals. So just keep that in mind. It doesn't have to be whole numbers, and it doesn't have to be positive. It can be anything. And that's basically how a sequence works. The important things to get out of this are: what is the common difference, D? What is that first term, a sub 1? And what is the term you're looking for, a sub n? So you might hear a sequence say, what is the 14th term? So you're looking for a sub 14. Okay. Or, what is the 4th term? You're looking for a sub 4. So, but these are the important things to know to be able to determine anything else in there. You need to know the common difference, and you need to know a sub 1. Now in the next videos, we'll look at how to do that.